Thank you, Chairman Jones and committee. Appreciate being here. 3 of the bills you're going to see are familiar, and 3 of the bills are new. So Senator Kniesek and I do want to address that, but I do want to give an overview of why we're here today. It was June 7th, 2016, when we had the worst bicycle tragedy in Michigan in my county. And I have 4 of my cyclists who are going to speak to that tragedy in a moment. And at that time, we had legislation that had been introduced in how to make sure we protect the roadway for vulnerable roadway users, but it hadn't gained much attention. And now we have the attention that we need. Now, granted, I'm going to tell you that these bills likely would not have changed anything for the people in this accident for my community, but it would have changed it for a lot of others. Just recently on Sunday night, we had a 40-year-old woman in Clinton Township killed on her bicycle by a car. And these tragedies aren't limited to just here or there. It seems like almost weekly I'm hearing about a bicyclist being hit, and unfortunately too many of them killed. Now, 3 of the bills that you're very familiar with include Senate Bills 123, 170, 124. You heard those last year, and thank you for your support on that. But we do have an additional 3. And I also want to bring up that we've got several House partners who have been very supportive of us and have the doubles of these in the House. And our House partners include Representative Alexander, who's here, Representative Shore, Representative Bizon, and Representative Kesto. Specifically, I'm going to speak to Senate Bill 330. And Senate Bill 330, we worked with a number of stakeholders, including state police, Prosecutors Association, Secretary of State. And this merely allows that if somebody is driving in Michigan and their license has been suspended in another state, that for prosecutorial purposes, it can be considered suspended in Michigan. We've had some issues, not just with bicycling, but with other auto accidents where they couldn't be charged for driving on a suspended license because their license was actually from another state and suspended in another state. So this would actually allow it to be considered that when there's been an accident, this can happen. We had a non-bicycling tragedy where someone was hit by, another motorist was hit by someone who had a suspended license, and unfortunately they couldn't charge that person for driving in Michigan under a suspended license, and that person merely received a misdemeanor. So I'm going to turn it over to Senator Kniesek, but before he starts, I do want to point out that I have all 4 of my bicycling survivors or heroes are here today: Paul Runnels, Sheila Jeske, Jennifer Johnson, and Paul Gobble, and then Steve Johnson, who's Jennifer's husband, who's very active in the biking community as well, and they'll be testifying later. Thank you.